All right, those are the churches. Now I want to make a transition to Cornerstone because we wanted to take the opportunity today to talk about what we believe God is doing in us. God is the potter, we are the clay. We have a history that goes back almost 25 years to even before Gene, where small churches were merging together, and then other merges took place, and our church is made up of a unique group of people, and we have unique interests, and we have this little building at the end of this dead-end road in this really tough town to have a church in. That's Cornerstone. But God has made something special in us, and he's emerged something in us, and also a very difficult time. You know, we live in a time where we really live in a time that's post-Christian. Christianity is not the center of culture anymore. We're not the only one in town saying we have the answers, right? The town is also plural. And so we're in this place, and we're in a very unique city. But God is forming us and continues to form us over our history. It will continue to change to make us useful, unique, and beautiful, just like he does every church. And so we wanted to introduce to you today something that we're calling our 9 elements. These are the things that are important to us. We see all of these elements as things that are currently present in Cornerstone. You can see them if you're here long enough. You can experience them. They are important to us. But we also want to grow these, and we want to get better at these. And so some of you might say, well, Brian, it sounds like you're sharing just vision and mission. Well, some of that's true, but some of this is values as well. But what's different here is these are the things we've seen God do in us. They've emerged in us. And so it's not so much, hey, this is who we want to become. We see some of this right now, and we want more of these. And so I want to introduce you to all 9. You'll see more of them. They'll be up on our website soon. We'll start using these in our classes. But this is the introduction of our 9 elements that we want to share. This is what God has shaped in us. The first is community. And by the way, none of these are in priority. They're just in a random order. They're all equally important. The first is community. And to us, that means building strong, healthy relationships in our marriages, in our families, with our friends, in our groups, and our neighborhoods. We believe that community is important, and that's based in healthy relationships, and life is full of many of those. And so that's what we do here. The second is encounter. This is working to create spaces to experience and respond to the presence, power, truth, love, and mystery of God. When we gather on Sunday mornings, it is an encounter. It's a time to meet with God. We believe that God will show up, and for those of us that have friends that we want to know the Lord, we do our best to try to explain it and reveal God to them. Well, we also want there to be a place where they're overwhelmed with the presence of God. And so that's what we do here. So prayer is a part of this. Worship's a part of this. The third one is confluence, and this is the most obscure word of all of them, but let me explain. The definition of confluence is 2 or more streams coming together to be one stream. Now that describes really well what we try to do here with the Christian and the Jewish story, doesn't it? And what we try to do with the Old Testament and New Testament. We care about connecting the dots. We care about celebrating both traditions. You heard a little bit earlier about how we're celebrating the fall feasts. That's part of the confluence. And so we care about those things. We care about teaching the whole Bible as one story. It's the roadmap to our life, and so we do that with the confluence of both of these stories. We care about the generations. So what this means to us is investing in the next generation while honoring all generations. And so there's a focus a little bit on those that are younger than us because they have a hard time staying in churches. But we also want to honor all those generations that have gone before and to help those live together. In fact, the best churches are multi-generational anyway, aren't they? Right? The old with wisdom, the young with energy. It's great to have it. Formation. This is positioning ourselves to become a whole, healthy follower of Jesus. And so if you think about our classes, our small groups, things like Thrive, our ministries to help people experience emotional health, they would all fall under this category. We want to be formed more and more into the image and likeness of Jesus. We want to follow him with our whole heart, and our formation is that area. The next is vocation. This is seeking to glorify God through our unique purpose, calling, careers, and work. Culture Creator expresses that idea. But the idea is this: what you do with the other 6 days of your week really matters to God. He cares about it. And God uses our work, whatever it is, whether it's a job or work at home, God uses it to love the world and shape culture. And so God uses vocation. The next is generosity. We believe in sacrificial giving of our time energy and money for those that are suffering and those that are spiritually far from God, the least and the lost. Creativity is the next element, expressing innovation and risk and beauty in the way we live our lives and engage our communities. So, of course, this can take place in our families, at work, but of course with the arts and music. And the last one is this, it's culture. So our last element, this is stewarding and shaping and restoring the environments that God has placed us in. So rather than being formed by the culture, we want to influence the culture, just like that story of those believers in London in the 1700s. So this is what we see God has done. We're going to be sending them out. You'll see more and more of these. But this is what we think, what it means right now for us to be useful, unique, and beautiful.